Hey, my name's James Nicholson. Welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I want to talk about the Financial Conduct Authority and their push to get more first-time buyers onto the property ladder. So in this video, we're going to talk about how it's got a little easier for first-time buyers over the last few weeks and what impact that's expected to have, how many more first-time buyers are expected to come back into the market following this and following that major big increase on stamp duty, particularly for people that are considering buying down south. Now, before we jump into this, if you're new around here and you haven't done already, do make sure you subscribe to the channel over there and hit that bell notification. We've just hit 44,000 subscribers. And by subscribing, you'll get all the latest property news, interest rate news, investment news, and much, much more. And let's get some views on this video. How do we do that? Simple. Smash like, tickle like, do something to that like button. That helps with the YouTube algorithm, and that's really helped the channel grow. So thanks to everyone that does that. So the regulators, they're saying that, look, after 2008, so I'm sure you know what happened in 2008. So in 2008, we had the credit crunch. And it was a crazy time back then. I was a property investor. And you know what? Some of us didn't feel it quite as bad. I'll quickly explain what happened to me. So at that time, I had 3 properties. 1 in Dorking, 2 in Hastings. And the rates cratered. And so I finished some of my deals, like the fixed mortgages that I had. And then I went to my broker and I said, look, get me a new deal. And I'd been paying, I don't know, 3 or 4%. And then the rates that I was on the standard variable rate. I had a deal that was just over the Bank of England rate. And I was paying something like 1%. And my payments had gone down massively. And my broker kept saying, for over a year, I can't even get you a better deal than you're on. Just stay on that variable rate for now. And I did that, and it was really good for a few years. So we did make more cash flow. I did make more cash flow for that short period of time. But if I needed to sell and I was doing lots of revaluations and highly leveraged, it could have been a bit sticky. But during that period of time, the Financial Conduct Authority made it a lot more difficult to get a mortgage. I remember getting mortgages and I was self-cert because I was self-employed, and you just told them how much you earn, and that's how it was. There was no real checks done, and lots of people borrowed lots of money. In fact, for a residential mortgage, you could get 100% mortgage of the value of the house. So you bought a 100 grand house, they give you a 100 grand mortgage, and they give you a £10,000 loan on top of that, and that was used to refurbish the property. But of course, people went and bought cars with that, holidays with that, and all sorts of stuff. But they owed 110 grand then. And then when the house prices went down, they said, not interested in this. I'm not going to pay it back. Defaulted on the mortgages, got bankrupt or whatever. And that's what the credit crunch was all about. So it got really hard to get a mortgage. And it is quite hard right now to get a mortgage. And the FCA is saying we need to make it a little easier. So right now, 10% of deals that go out to the whole market are allowed to go above 4.5 times salary. So that's normally what you get offered. Normally what you get offered on residential is 4 times your salary. But they want to relax that a little bit, and they're going to look at different criteria. So the new amount of people that will be able to get above that will be 15% will be able to get above or just over 4.5 times their salary. Because the silly thing is, you get some people that have got a salary and it's not very high, but they don't have much outgoings. They haven't got credit cards and debt and don't pay for Netflix and don't go on fancy holidays. And you get other people that have got a massive salary, but they go to the gym, they go to restaurants all the time, they're going on fancy holidays every year. So that sort of stuff's got to get taken into consideration. So they're looking at making affordability changes to it. And that will mean 15% of people will now get the option to borrow more money. How many people is that expected to be this year? It means an additional 36,000 people might be able to buy a property that are first-time buyers. That's a lot of people coming into a market. And that's positive for people building new properties. Like if you do these big developments, I'm based near Croydon. Sometimes we go to Box Park in Croydon and you see these huge tower blocks there. They are built for first-time buyers. Now, of course, other people live there, but a good chunk of those sales are going to be first-time buyers. And if you don't have them, then that building stops and the government isn't going to hit that 1.5 million times the million properties that they want to hit. So that's interesting to see. And also what you've got here is that they've relaxed the ability to not have a deposit as well. So there are 100% mortgages around now. You've got one company I've talked about on this channel called April Mortgages. They do 100% mortgage. I think they also do a product which is 6 times your salary, that especially works for people that are, for example, police and nurses and doctors, those types of jobs. They're going to lend more money to those. So April Mortgages, if you want to get a bigger amount of money, that's definitely worth checking out as well. And there are lenders now catering again, focusing again on the first-time buyer market. I'll give you an example of a Nationwide deal, which is one of the best at the moment for first-time buyers. If you are one, or if you know someone, they've got a deal at the moment which is 4.13% for 2 years. That's not bad. And that gets you into the market with an affordable monthly payment. A lot of first-time buyer deals were around 5%. So the fact that they've gone out there on a limb and they're doing that is showing that they are competitive and they want to get first-time buyers into their business. Nationwide are quite aggressive with growing their mortgage portfolio at the moment. They've got Nationwide brand, Virgin Media, not Virgin Money brand even, and the mortgage works as well. So I think what you're going to see over the next year or so is even less regulation. I think they've realised we've over-regulated here. We need to get this market moving again because effectively property has been flat for a little while now and they want to get people buying property because stamp duty is a massive source of income for the government and right now the market is stalled. So if they can make it easier to borrow and get more people eligible to get a mortgage, I think that's good. I also think that they should, as they are going to do, keep looking at if you can afford your rent, then that means you can afford your mortgage. And if you paid your rent for 5 years, 10 years at that certain amount, you should be able to be eligible for a mortgage of a similar amount. And that is another consideration that they're putting into the mortgage calculation. So I think you're going to see more of this deregulation, making it easier to buy. Hopefully they don't go as extreme as it was prior to 2008. Now, last call for the fundamentals of property investing. That's a course that we've got that's £20, one-time payment. We'll teach you how to buy properties below market value, how to add value to those properties, how to then rent them out for maximum return. So click on the link in the comments below. It's £20, one-time payment. That's it. Go and check it out.